Let's not forget to do this. I forgot to do this the other day. Live chat. I want to see all the chats, all of them. Well, sometimes I don't. So I don't know who's going to be first, but I'm getting a cup of coffee. What's here? 22 seconds. This is going to be one of those ones. Oh, there is someone here. Guys, I wish that I had, where's my sweatshirt? I wish that I had saved them. I deleted them to make room when I was editing the video. I deleted the outtakes. There was some comical stuff that happened with trying to get that knife put back together. I wound up filming the reassembly twice because these hands and that small little mechanism and everything that's in that Microtech played hell. So you guys got to see the actual thing, and I didn't even get all of it because I forgot to hit fucking record on camera. I was just getting so frustrated. I was chasing little screws and shit around on my counter here in the kitchen. Yes, there was a little. I didn't draw down on it or anything. Oh. Yeah, that's where the pain in the ass came in. I had to, it took me 3 tries just to get the button. He's talking about that little spring that goes up under the button. You put it on there. Yeah, somewhere in there. Not quite as bad. So, Sebenza 21, guys. Sebenza 21 goes away to be replaced by the Sebenza 31. I'm gonna text Tim. and say, hey man, I know you're on your way. I know you're on your way to fucking to Atlanta for Blade Show, but what's up with the 31? Because I looked at pictures and I don't see, everybody's like, oh, 31, they're gonna get rid of all this stuff, just have the, and I was like, no, I don't think so, because that extra screw right there, and I was like, that's not an extra screw, guys. I was on a forum. That's why I don't worry about like Reddit so much, because most of the people on Reddit aren't real knife savvy. They really aren't. I offered my services to a bunch of guys and they made fun of me. They're like, oh, I fucking got an Edge Pro. And I was like, okay. Just gonna go out on a limb and say there's been a lot of people that sent me stuff that they've completely wrecked on an Edge Pro. Just letting you know. So anyway, so I don't worry about, fuck Dr. Frunky. He's a douchebag. Yeah, they're special. They're like trash can knives. They're like garbage gas station knives kind of guys. Because they're all like, people my age usually don't use Reddit. I use Reddit to find weird, fucked up shit. So, at any rate, I don't like Dr. Frunky at all. He goes on, mainly, and it's a personal thing, he goes on the Knife Nuts podcast and was bashing Elliot, even though I don't think Dr. Frunky's ever made a knife. And obviously never held an actual Ferrum Forge, based on his opinions. He was just a douche nozzle on that podcast. So, I don't watch other knife channels really anyway. But anyway, the only thing, you know what I think? You know what I think? Yeah, you remember the Fallout? Because, well, that's not really what I was saying. Motherfucker, that's what you were saying. If that's not what you were really saying, you probably shouldn't have said it out loud on a podcast. Because that's exactly what you were saying. This is what today feels like. I'm starting to feel better though, guys. They're weed eating right up against my house. I can hear them hitting the fucking, it's either the gas line or the water line that leads into the house. We got gas in this house, but I have an electric stove. I'm gonna pull that out and see if I have a gas. The wife kind of likes the electric. But anyway, so the only thing I can think that they really changed, they didn't change the thumb stud. The only thing that I can think that they changed is, you know, the 21 is titanium on steel. I don't dislike it. I actually wouldn't want this. I don't like where I'm going with this. the Umnumzon has that great big ceramic ball that acts as your detent and your lock interface. I don't particularly like it. It's a good idea. It's a good way to do things. So it's just got an oversized ball. That's the only thing I can think of, because looking at pictures that I've seen of it posted, I'm not seeing much of a difference. But if you look, they're only showing the show scale, not the lock scale. That's the only thing I can think, because I was looking at blade shape's the same. The overall shape of the knife is the same number of holes. They might have gotten rid of this, which I'm not opposed to that going away. And all that was just, that's a spot for them to put it in the machine. There's one on each side. And that was just a mounting hole for machining. So that's the only thing I can really think that they may have changed. I might want to get my medicine into me. You get old and you realize that you've got, starting to get old, you got 3 different fucking medicines you got to take. Last time. So yeah, with the Sebenza 21 going away, that just solidifies my opinion. I'm never getting rid of this. Don't know. Never talked to him. I do know I've had to fix a few of his knives because he might be a nice guy, but his grinds were jacked. I fixed some for a guy up. I fixed a couple from a guy that bought some at, was it Snacks? No, I might be wrong. Give me a second. I'll think of it. It wasn't Snacks. It was Lurch. Lurch. It wasn't. It was Lurch. Lurch knives. That's what it was. A customer of mine bought some. They were okay knives. They were all right knives, but the entire blade was ground off center. So basically, the spine was straight until you got to the very tip, and then you could see where it just kicked over because their grind was not straight. So the whole grind of the knife was ground one direction, and then it was sold that way, polished and everything. And I was like, I've seen Pakistani knives that are straighter than that. But from what I understand, the guy took it back. Yeah, that's why I said it's not the same guy. Why are we talking about it, Peter? Stop bogarting time and distracting me. Mr. Punctuation is beneath me. It's the most conceited fucking thing I've ever fucking heard. So yeah, it's, from what I understand, the guy replaced the knife. I have a solution for this. What's this? And Peter goes in timeout. It's like one of my favorite functions to be able to do. 300 seconds. It's just fun. It's just funny because Peter's going to get me on a tangent. He's getting me wound up and you guys won't enjoy it. It won't be a fun YouTube feed. So I hope I took all 3 of those. So I have a plan. I'll bring you in on that plan when we see. I got to do some more planning because the problem is just because you have a great idea doesn't mean it sucks. Hey guys, I got an idea. Is it a good one? Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I got to think of how I'm going to do this. It involves me getting back in shape and working out and still being able to utilize this time. So there may be less live feeds, or there might be some live feeds that you get to talk to me while I'm hitting a speed bag, things like that. Because I do need to get back into shape now that I'm feeling better, and I was having so much problem with my back. If you guys remember, end of last year, into the beginning of this year. So now everything's starting to feel better. I'm back on my auto. I haven't talked to Robert Bodiger in probably a year or so. I don't know what he's doing. I tried to call him a few times. Here's the thing, it's not for lack of trying. He reached out a couple times. I talked to him once on the phone here, a couple years ago, or a year or so ago. And it's not for lack of trying. He's hard to get a hold of. I've tried, and a lot of times phone goes straight to a message where you can't leave a message. You know, it's the voicemails. An error has occurred, or you just get the customer you're trying to reach is unavailable. Thank you, goodbye, and stuff like that. So I get fed up with that, and I fucking stopped. That's like my buddy Danny. It's talking to him in the live feed. He texted me while he was watching my live feed, and he had just donated $1,000 to my daughter's GoFundMe for ice skating, and I didn't even bother trying to call him. I just saw the text, and I was like, hey, you know, I quit calling because you just never answer. There's just no way to get hold of you. And but is Robert making knives? I don't know. He has an Instagram channel where he was doing some stuff. He went on some rants. He had made some weird basket system for plants. It was actually really cool, but that was the last I saw. I don't know if he's still active on Instagram. I don't even see anything pop up in my feed. And I mean, that was basically the only interaction I really saw from him, was he put some stuff up on Instagram. So I love the kid, but he had it going good there for a little bit, and then he just kind of put everything on cruise control. You can't run a business that way. That was the problem. He was more inclined to just take the time off and do stuff and have fun than he was to be at the shop on a Thursday at fucking midnight, and then on a Friday at 3 a.m. and then, you know, on a consistent basis. Like, he would do it, and I love Robert, but what he would do is he would just jump through his ass and make a knife in like 3 days and then take the rest of the time off. Guess you could kind of say that right now about me, but that's because it's Blade Show week and there just is nothing. I got like 3 knives I got to sharpen, and the weather's a lot better today. As soon as I get done weed eating and shit, I'm gonna do that. I think my buddy Ashton's gonna come over. I have to run to base and get a couple things. I think my wife's gonna make a list of a few things. Other than that, I mean, right now I just know what my week looks like, which is a nice thing because that means that I can take care of some low-hanging fruit stuff that I need to do, you know, so that it's not interfering with actual work. And then I've got to finish, I'm toying around with some ideas about David's knife that we're going to anode with all those koi and stuff. I just haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet. So, you know, it is what it is. That's why businesses fail. My business could fail. Who knows? I may decide that I'm tired of it and go back to work somewhere, but I don't foresee that in any timeline anywhere. Like, I could get my old job back. No. Couple reasons I can't get my old job back. 1, I don't want it. And 2, I would never pass the background check now because I smoke a lot of weed and a lot of people know it. And I had my green card and it was valid, you know. It was I was buying medical marijuana before it was really fucking 100% that you could just get it recreationally. So there's a record of that. So I won't ever be able to get that job back. Not in the foreseeable future. It would take a long time. I'd have to wait like 3 years or so. But yeah, it happens. He had some good stuff. He still owes me a knife. I loaned him some money. I told him he'd pay me back with a knife. He still owes me a knife. Damn, I forgot about that. Shit, fuck. Thanks for bringing it up. Way to go, bud. Thanks, Chase. I don't want my old job. Nobody wants my old job. They haven't been able to. They've had to. They went through a few people. I'm not going through that, trying to find somebody to replace the guys that were there. They just. And then I know the people that they hired, and I'm like, why, guys? Here's how it works. All right, Peter, go back home. Back in timeout. So, yeah, the thing was, now that Peter distracted me for what yeah, he just sort of disappeared. What happened was he screwed up, and he took the punishment for that screw up personal, and then just kind of, I mean, he screwed up and he lost access to the shop, and that's like he couldn't do any work. And we were like, well, you kind of brought it on yourself. He kind of actually, for a while, screwed all of us. None of us were allowed to have access to the shop unless Chris or Elliot were there, and that was a direct reflection of Bodiger. Because I mean, I can't fault it. Somebody screws up, you know. Okay, that's it. No more access to the shop. So I was cool with it, but you know, his business 100% relied on using the shop. So but let's not talk about that. What the fuck was that? He's using a wind. No, that's not it. No, it's not dirty laundry. I mean, I didn't tell you exactly what happened. I just know that after that, like he kind of just wanted to do stuff on his own time, and it wasn't compatible. And he kind of just, instead of just changing and doing it, because he could have been up there during the day, but he always wanted to work at night when it was quiet and everything up there. But I mean, I can't blame him. It's cool. I get so much work done when everybody leaves. I love being up there. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Friday, I was getting work done, but I get the majority of that work that I did Friday on that, or I'm sorry, Thursday on that Curtis F3. 90% of that work got done after everybody left at around 7 o'clock. Got a lot of work done, a lot of prep stuff, but like the actual like sit down and just work and not just be distracted. I just put music on the speakers, and I was up there till fucking 1 o'clock or so on Thursday, and I got that whole Curtis done. It just needs sharpened and it's ready to go. And then same kind of thing with that Browse. I worked on that Browse a little bit, but after everybody left that evening on Friday, I stayed up there till 3, got the Browse taken apart, got all the ceramic done, redid it a couple times because I didn't like the way it came out. Kept playing with stuff, worked on that action, and then I was there till 3 in the morning. So I understand it, but if you're limited, you just do it when you can do it. That and Chris and Elliot and I love those guys so much. We get to bullshitting and I don't get any work done, and it's the exact same for like Elliot will be working on something. I'll ask him a question. Next thing you know, we've been bullshitting for fucking 15 minutes. So a lot of times I'm like Elliot's, especially when Elliot's like working on a computer and rendering and designing and things like that. I just fucking leave it. I just pretend he's not even fucking there. Unless I absolutely need a question answered, like, hey man, say that I stripped out this screw. What would be possible in the realm of what you have available to make this work? I can he'll take one of the other screws out and he goes, fuck, I got a whole bag of them fucking things. Come on, let's go. Drill the head off of it, pull that fucking screw out, and fucking just throw a new screw in. Which is, Peter, I'm not gonna lie to you, I looked at your crux, and we're gonna have to fucking do that. They're great. You need to see them. They're tall. I had my Tough Late. Somebody mentioned I had my Tough Late in my pocket yesterday. It was in my hip pocket. I was carrying it all day, and somebody asked something about what's in your pocket, and I was like, oh, this Switchblade and this Tough Late in my fucking left hip pocket all day yesterday. I completely forgot. I gotta trim my mustache. It's in my mouth. It's driving me nuts. But no, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna carry this because like if this is a dead or dying, it's gonna be extinct. I gave away that Ace, the giant mouse, Leona, whichever one it is, because people tell me, like, I swear to God, I've said it both ways, and people have corrected me both times. But anyway, that little one, that Charles Anderson, I gave that away. There was somebody that needed a knife, and I was like, well, here's the thing. It's a nice knife. It's just, for me, not something I would carry. And I was like, if I've got a knife that I know I'm never gonna carry, and I didn't fucking, what's up, Zach? Hey, I got a line on the tools. I do have a line on the tools, but I'm not gonna be able to really talk to the guy until after Blade Show. It's Jeremiah at it's Jeremiah at PVK. He says he has all the tools for it. So I told him, I was like, I'll tell you what I need when you get back from Blade Show, because they're packing up to go to Blade Show and all that. So is Elijah Isham and everybody. That's why I'm not at the shop. One, I'm kind of sick. I've been sick, and I don't want the guys to get sick. I'm feeling way better, but the guys can't afford to get sick. It's just like me, man. If they're not working, they're not making money. We can see right now, I ain't making money. But like I said, fully expected it. This is the week that Malice. I haven't gotten to see it in person. I feel bad. I texted Elliot this morning. I was like, man, I wanted to come up and see that carved Malice, but I don't want you guys to get sick in case I'm still, I don't think I am. No one else in the house has gotten sick. I don't think I was ever contagious to begin with. How's the Fortis? I haven't even started yet. I wasn't gonna, until I had all the stuff, I wasn't gonna do anything. If you want me to do the Fortis, I can do the Fortis and then get it back to you. But I usually, what I'll do is, if I know if something's waiting, I just won't work on it on the other one. If I know I've got to finish both of them, it just makes it easier. Yeah, it just makes it easier if I can just do it like all at once in one weekend. Like I may start on it. I'm gonna go up Thursday to the shop. I may start on it Thursday. I gotta make sure that that's squared away with Elliot. But if I can go up to the shop Thursday, I may start on just getting just the black down in the milled areas, and then getting it. The problem I've got is I've got to make sure I mask it real well, because the masking's got to stay in through the tumble. Because if I don't, what happens is you won't get clean lines. The tumble media will get partway down into those milled lines, and if I don't mask it completely, I won't get that clean, sharp line I'm looking for. So I've got to make sure I mask it and make sure that stuff cures for a good. I'll probably mask it. That is a big fucking fly. Did you see that fucking thing? Jesus Christ, it's as big as a honeybee. I don't know where these fucking flies. It's been raining. And now, I don't know if one of the neighbors has got like a problem with their garbage cans. Well, red, whichever color we do. I was just saying, getting the ceramic down in. And so you won't get that, you won't get those clean lines if I leave it unmasked and the tumble media will actually be able to get down in those grooves a little bit. So, no, we have more flies this year. Yuka, my wife Yuka, came home yesterday with some groceries and left the garage door open, and that's where they're coming from. It's not like they're coming from out here in the yard where I would think where the trash can and shit is. There's something, I don't know if the cat brought something in. I don't smell anything in the garage. There are flies, just fucking flies everywhere in that garage. And that's what I want, but I don't smell anything. And look at this thing. It fucking works, and it's big. I can smell shit from a mile away, literally. But she left the garage door open, and they're fucking, just like they were like, come on in. And the house was just full of flies. And they're not as bad out in the yard, but they're still bad. And I'm like sitting out there, I'm like, they're fucking driving me nuts. I was like, where the we didn't have this many flies last year, but it's got 100% be something to do with the fact that we've got, okay, for some of y'all, because a lot of y'all don't know, what my sister's talking to, give me a minute and I'll explain that after. My sister is talking about spreading slurry. So if you don't know what slurry is they take all the cow shit and they water it down so that they can spray it. And then they haul it, the manure, up to these, well, usually what happens is they run a manure fucking hauler everywhere until they fucking get it to where they want it. They're fucking dragging it somewhere. A lot of times people use tanks to liquefy the shit, and then they put it in this fucking thing and they spray it. Do they use a sprayer, or are they just using the manure spreader, the old school long shit slinger? Well, Brian, you know what my channel's like. You never know what's gonna happen. Just using manure spreader. So Scott doesn't liquefy it yet. He's not like that old dude out in Plain. You probably don't remember this, sis. Charlie Maurer used to have a tank where he'd liquefy the shit and then spread it with a sprayer. It's not Scott, he's retired. That's right, Scott had back surgery. Anyway, so they would use a sprayer. Charlie Maurer used a fucking sprayer and spray that liquid shit, and it would be all over Grandma and Grandpa Emler's car and truck, just like a layer of fucking dust. And Grandpa's like, "Don't touch that. That's cow shit." Like, what? Like, so you can't fucking smell that? And after a while, you're like, "No, I can't." You had that field right in front of Grandma and Grandpa Emler's house. It was pretty bad. I have to, glad I saw those. I have got to figure out what size battery this thing takes, because the batteries in my key to the wife's car won't start the car anymore. PA, they spray that on the field. Yeah, I'm from Ohio too. That's where my sister's at. A lot of times they do that, but they just use a regular manure spreader, which is just, it's nothing but a great big, it's a slanted, narrow trailer you just shovel shit on, and then it's got this thing on the back, just shreds it, flings it everywhere. It's fucking horrible. We used to live like that. As a matter of fact, no joke, there's places out here where you drive by, like when I'm going up to the racetrack, Paris, you end up driving by some, hang on a second, guys. Let me turn that down. You wind up driving by some cattle farms, dairy farms and stuff like that. And then even further, if you go up to the Central Valley, like you're driving up to Fresno and shit like that, you wind up driving through some farm country, and you wind up, I catch you with the cow shit. I'm like, oh, I miss home so bad. It's not a joke. Horse shit, cow shit, pig shit, keep that fucking shit. You keep it. You keep pig shit. No one needs that. But the smell of cow shit and horse shit will make you, if you're a country boy like me, you're like, oh, I miss home. It's time for a trip. I need to make a trip home sooner or later. Pig shit. Pig shit is like putting walnuts in fucking anything. Putting walnuts in anything. It's the only thing I like is boiled walnuts. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me I don't know why I like it, but chestnuts are really good boiled too. But walnuts are just, they're tree feces, and there's no use for them in anything, and especially not fucking cookies. Hey, I made chocolate chip cookies. Yay! I made you some oatmeal raisin cookies. Yay! I put walnuts in all of them. Fuck you! God damn it! Keep them. Fuck off. I don't like walnuts. Walnuts are not good. Jesus Christ, Peter, why is it every fucking second you open your mouth, it makes me want to punch it? You're that dude. I don't know this about your face. I just want to punch it. You're good. You're good, but Jesus, I just want to punch. It's just, I hate your face. I made baked ziti yesterday. And it always happens. My wife never gives me a day's heads up to make the sauce. Oh, Pretium. So Elliot doesn't like the Pretium because, is my case right there? No. Can you guys hold on just a second? I will go get my Pretium, and I will kind of give you a brief explanation as to why. Okay, I'm back. So, sorry for the delay. Once again, guys, I wanted to, while I'm doing this, when I talk about the likes, I figured this out. I talked to a couple people that are, I'll answer this question in a minute, but the algorithm that YouTube's been using, there's a couple big YouTubers that I talked to about this. I actually got responses back via email. Furious Pete was saying it's all based on the relationship between interaction on your channel, and it's not just about views, it's not just about subscribership numbers, it's about the likes and dislikes Yeah, it's the hit the thumbs up. And so I see why other channels do it now that I understand. Like they really push, hey, fucking hit that bell icon, get the thumbs up, give it a thumbs up. It only takes a second. And that's the thing. And I'm like, you know what? I started doing it on channels I like. Like I'll go on my phone and I'll find the video and I'll give that video a thumbs up because a lot of times I'm watching it on my PlayStation in the bedroom is where I watch YouTube. I don't watch TV. And so I started realizing that like I'm not doing it because I watch there. So what I'll do is I'll go through my history and videos that I did like, I'll give them a thumbs up. So it's always cool when you get some insight from somebody that is like doing it for a living. I talked to Adam the Woo, actually one of my favorite YouTube channels out there. If I could, dude is a nutball. He's always at Disneyland. I don't know how we've never seen him on a trip that we've made to Disneyland. But at any rate, well, it's because there's millions of people there. The Furious Pete responded back. I was asking, how do you manage this and that? Because he makes a living on YouTube. So does Adam the Woo. And I was like, okay, so it's all about like thumbs up or thumbs up and thumbs down being interaction. The more interaction you get, comments are okay, but they don't count near as much as the thumbs up. And I was like, that makes sense. Because the more thumbs up you get, the more it winds up in like a relatable feed somewhere else where people that normally wouldn't see my videos would start seeing them. But at any rate, that's why I keep telling you guys to do the thumbs up. So this is the Pretium. And the reason Elliot doesn't like it is it has a couple things about it. It's got a really bad blade to handle ratio. And that's sweat from my hands on it. The other one is there's some inconsistencies in the milling and stuff like that. And then the lock bar was really thinly cut. So it's a point of failure. And then sometimes you can't keep them centered. You can't keep them straight. I got lucky. This one I've played around with a bunch and kept it straight. I refinished it black. I don't like taking this thing apart because you always run into the thing where as you're taking it apart, you don't know whether it's going to go back together the right way. And so since Elliot gave me this, I just pretty much leave it be. But I like it. I really like it. It's really comfortable. And it's a great blade. The blade shape is perfect for someone like me that was an outside knife guy, outdoors kind of guy. Hey, Ashton, are you going to try and come over today? Because I got some stuff that we can do. I've got a couple knives to work on, but I need to go to the base. If you want to go to the base with me, I gotta get something for me, a couple things for the wife. So if that's something you want to do, just let me know. And I think, if I remember right, this might have been ones that he milled in-house on the milling machine. Yeah, me too. I think these might have been in-house milled on that Tormac he had. I was talking to a guy at a knife show. He goes, man, I bought one of those Tormacs because John Grimsmo's videos, he was fucking doing great. He was fucking really making a name for himself. He's like, I bought one of those Tormacs. He's like, Jesus Christ, John must either be a fucking genius machinist or he got the only fucking Tormac that worked right. Was like, and so I mentioned that because I have talked to John Grimsmo a bunch of times, and I mentioned that. Yeah, I've watched most of them, but I couldn't remember if these were done on a Tormac in-house or not. But anyway, so I told John Grimsmo that. I was like, bro, that was the funniest comment. He's like, he must have got the fucking only goddamn Tormac that worked, and it was at a Cali Custom show. The guy fucking was talking about it, and he wound up getting a different mill. I can't remember what he got, and then he basically made it into a CNC himself. I think it was a bridge. He got an old Bridgeport or something, then CNC'd it. So anyway, I told John that, and he goes, yeah, well, here's the thing. Tormac was our sponsor, so we really couldn't put in. He's like, you didn't see how many broken fucking end mills and screwed up parts and tool runoff, their tool run out that was incorrect and breaking the ruby tips on fucking the sensor. He's like, you didn't see all that shit. He's like, you didn't see where it was just like, working, and all of a sudden it decided to drive itself all the way to the collet into the aluminum, and he was like, he burned up the collet. I was like, oh, really? He goes, yeah, you can't put that shit on your channel if it's sponsored. If the people that are sponsoring you are the company that makes your machine, you can't do that. Yeah, he converted a Grizzly to CNC. You didn't hear what I said, did you? See? That's why I say you don't fucking listen, Peter. The ruby tip on the sensor probe. Yeah, they're super precise. The position of your equipment. Go watch a fucking video, Peter. Captain, I know how to do research. Fucking ask this question. You have the wealth of human knowledge at your fingertips. I'm not a CNC machinist. What it is it's a fucking little thing, and it goes in. It's a little position probe, and it senses where where your workpiece is, so that you don't have your tools go too far. See what I'm saying? It's just a little probe that's attached to the fucking computer, and it tells you all four sides, how high, how deep, how fucking where it's at. It just touches up against it. That's all it does. But he slammed on it. He fucking said it, and the motherfuckers apparently just slammed it right into the workpiece. They're not cheap. Yes, it's a reference point finder. And yeah, I'm like I said, Peter, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to wait until Elliot gets back, because when you get back from Blade to even address that, because I don't want, if he thinks he can probably get it out some other way without drilling it. But I mean, we'll still probably have to replace that pivot. And then I don't know. I think they have some parts for that knives. That knives really. Yeah, like if I can just drive. Elliot told me that too. He's like, that motherfucker just drive itself. He's like, it drove itself like so hard down, it went into the jaws of the vise and wrecked the entire collet and fucking scratched the fuck out of the spindle and shit. He's got that little micro mill that's a piece of shit, but it's still better. Well, I'm getting stuff on my Instagram from Matt and Luke and the rest of the guys that are in the Farum Forge clan. Looks plain. I don't know what knife they're talking about, but I'm sure I'm going to go after we're done here, and I'll go weigh in on it. So Ashton, what time are you looking at maybe heading this direction, so I don't get too far into anything at once? Today's going to be a fun day. I trusted that fart. I shouldn't. I'm at my age. I'm 40, almost 45 at this point. But it's not so much the years, it's the mileage. And so the problem that I run into is that I forget that I'm getting old. And it's not so much the years, it's the mileage. So at this point in my life, there's two things I shouldn't do. One, I should not trust a fart. Two, I should not waste a boner, because I don't know how many of those things I got left. I don't know how many I got left. You know, I mean, it's like your heart. That's why I stopped working out for a long time. I was like, well, your heart's only got so many beats in it. Why would I waste that? Why would I waste that on something I don't enjoy? But apparently the fucking fact that I'm getting fat, well, a lot of that has to. I went back on those meds. So the good thing is they make me feel better and things hurt less. Downside is it make me gain weight. So now I'm gonna have to start working out again, just to counteract the effects of the fucking medicines. Oh, I know what I forgot to take. I forgot to take my seizure medicine. That's over here. Take one capsule by mouth twice a day. that should help. Well, here's the nice thing: the seizure medicine counteracts the effects of the medicine that makes me gain weight. Because Topamax makes me forget to eat and forget words and great things like that, but it also keeps me from having seizures. I thought I was gonna come off of it. I told the guys I was gonna come off of it. I don't know if I want to be in the car with you based on the smells of your personal brand. It's usually only in the morning. I stop farting usually around fucking 10. So, what do I take? I take, it is called Topamate. I think it's called Topamax. Actually, I think that's the brand. This is the generic version. Oh yeah, it's because you got to remember I had fucking eaten all kinds of shit Thursday, garbage food Thursday. I had, what did I have? Well, you brought Thursday. Did you bring pizza or was that Friday? Because like the only thing I had is like, ooh, you know what we can do? You come over, we'll warm up some ziti and then go to the base. The reason I'm asking is because my wife and kid will be home by like 2-ish. So I'm not saying you can't come over. It makes it a lot more awkward because my daughter will be doing stuff in the living room. My wife will be doing stuff in the kitchen. But yeah, it's fucking more than welcome to come over. I don't give a fuck. Sewer ducks. Sewer ducks. And that's why they smell. You just hear them like because they stink. You can smell them. What is going in my pocket today? This doesn't get carried. I stuck it in my pocket. I was like, where'd my Pretium go? Oh, that's right. I had it out. I don't carry this very often because I know I can't replace it. This is a piece of, well, it's a piece of knife history that happens to just be made by a good friend of mine. Need help making a decision on what? What are you indecisive about? Oh, that's right. I got to sharpen this for Nico. Well, for Nico's friend. I told you my personal favorite is the lightsaber scale, the force user scale, because it's got more angles and stuff that you can do. However, the spinal looks really good when they do the gradient anodizing on it, where it's basically a rainbow of all the colors. The Interceptor, you talking about the Ferrum Forge Interceptor? Or are you talking Interceptor or Oppressor? Which one? Because I had the Oppressor. How many people keep the knife boxes? Debating a picture. I keep all of my knife cases. Not necessarily all the boxes. Some knives I do. Like I still have the box for this, I believe. No, I got rid of the box for this because it was a plain box. Like, I have cases for almost every one of these knives, with the exception of a couple that just didn't come with cases. So this, the soft cases, and there's a reason why. If I'm not going to take this entire case and I just want to take a couple knives to go somewhere, I put them in their cases because I can't necessarily put them all in my pocket. And then when I get there, then I'll have them to put somewhere. Ooh, okay. This is what happens when Elliot surprises people. It's not a bad idea. Not a bad call at all, Ashton. I got to take this in. This needs an oversized stop pin. The stop pin is deforming so quickly. I'm out of good spots on it, that's all. We had to do that to this one already once. And I did I had to put an oversized stop. I did the oversized stop pin in this one myself. I did all the work on it. No. You know why I don't want to go fishing, mate? Because it's fucking expensive. It's fucking expensive to go fishing. And I do need to do these couple things that I got here. You're distracting. You're horrible. You would get me in trouble with my wife. Do I want to go fishing? Yes, of course I want to go fishing. That's a silly fucking question. But not today. That's the problem. Let me see. What else am I going to do today? Oh, yeah, soft cases like this. Yeah, you're not going to find anything because they're probably not going to say it. They just are saying that the 21 is going away. Yeah, but the problem is you got to have a fishing license and all that shit. You get caught, you fucking get in trouble. I would have to go get a fishing license, and then you got to pay for every rod that goes in the water. It's just a bunch of bullshit. I don't fish out here. It's ridiculous. You know what it costs me to fish in Ohio? Nothing. I'm not fucking going to pay $9 to fish at Santee Lakes. I was in a bass fishing club back home. I like actually fishing, like actual fishing. I'm not going to go fishing at Santee's. The answer is no. No. So the soft cases I was talking about, these. I keep all of these because if I have to send a knife somewhere, here's the thing, I don't even have a fishing pole or anything, and I don't bobber fish. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go fishing. It'd be disappointing. It'd be too much. Like, I would think back to fishing with my dad, and it'd just be a disappointment. That's part of the reason, too. That's one of the things my dad and I did all the time. Is, I don't know, like, fishing and hunting are a couple things that I don't know if I can even really do anymore. Not being able to do it with my father just kind of takes all the fun out of it. But yeah, the soft cases, I keep those. Boxes, some boxes. I think I have the boxes for both my Microtechs. I can't say that. I keep boxes for weird shit. Like, I have boxes for these two Cold Steel. I still have the boxes for these, and I've had these since 2007, 2008, 2007 or 2008. I still have the boxes for these upstairs. I have the boxes for my basically all the Cold Steels that I own. The boxes are upstairs in a drawer. And that's the thing. I don't know why I kept the Cold Steel boxes. I think it was because their warranty information was on them. Was why I wound up keeping them, and then I just never got rid of them. I do have the box for that old school Puma Bowie. When Puma made nice knives, that's an old school, old stock one from like fucking 70s or 80s. When they were still fucking, before they started making stuff in Taiwan. I mean, they still have stuff that's made in Germany, but it's nowhere near as good. Like, my dad has got the Puma Hunter's Powell, which they don't even make anymore. That thing is a fucking amazing knife. There's a list of things I need to tell my mother she needs to put in her suitcase and bring out here. One of them being my fucking 1911. That would be nice if she could just put that. If she's traveling by train, she should be able to just put that in her luggage and locked up, bring it with her. So, should be able to. I don't see a reason why not. Well, guys, my wife's getting up. I can hear her. She's got to go to work at 10. You want to stick around for the full hour? Did Kershaw ever fix the copper matrix? I do not know. There's a way around it. All you have to do is just get another screw and screw it in. And I think I said that in a video. Yeah, you can flip your pocket clip, but you're going to have to come up with an extra screw from somewhere. All right, Zach. Like I said, as soon as I get a price on those tools, I'll let you know. But I'm not even going to try and bother Jeremiah. I know that he already left for Atlanta. So there's no sense even trying to get a hold of him today. So something's keeping my case from closing properly. Yeah, hit me up. I'll be here. I'm gonna try and get a couple knives touched up. I got one from Barry that showed up that I'm gonna have to do a repair on, and then after that, I'm pretty much done. We can go to the base and shit. I'll tell my wife, Yuka, can you make that list of things you need? Not right now. I mean, I don't think we're gonna be going until after you get off work. She gets off work at, like, she'll be home by like 1, so I'll have that list where we can just go. It's not that far. It's like 6 miles from my house to the base, if that. I know. You know what I need? I need to get some more of that outdoor carpet and fix that outdoor carpet area over out there that just looks like shit. Jesus, there are fucking flies everywhere out there. They're just like swarming around. That's fucking ridiculous. So yeah, I don't know. We can just, all you have to do is just get here and we'll take my car. Flies are crazy. And so it's right now, the only place that, I mean, it's not like Egypt. Egypt was horrible. We went through the Persian, ask anybody that's ever been through the ditch out there in the Persian Gulf, going down through the Suez Canal. Ask anybody that's through the ditch when they get to Egypt, where you can see the welcome to Egypt on either side of the canal. Holy shit, I've never seen flies like that. They look like clouds of flies, and they were everywhere on you, and you're like, Jesus Christ, get them the fuck off me. And then they had this really unique drawbridge that like basically like twisted and split the canal. Like instead of being like, I can't remember if it went, I'd have to look up the video I have of going through the ditch. They had a really cool drawbridge right there in Egypt as you're coming up through, after you go through the Bitter Lake. So the Bitter Lake's a holding point. So when you go through the canal, all northbound traffic comes up and hits the Bitter Lake. All southbound traffic comes up and hits the Bitter Lake. So in the morning, the southern part is all northbound, and the northern part of the canal is all southbound. The Bitter Lake is a holding area. So once all the southbound traffic is done, then all the ships that are in that holding pattern in the Bitter Lake that need to go north in the afternoon, the upper part of the canal is northbound and the lower part is southbound. So that flip-flops back and forth. So you got to hit the ditch in the morning to get to Bitter Lake by midday, and then if you by the end of the day, by the end of the evening, you're out. It takes all day to transit the canal. Like it's not just like, hey, just shoot straight through unless it's a submarine. So it's not like that. It's a lot of waiting, and the Bitter Lake is ridiculously hot, and there's like no wind. It's in that area where there's just like no wind. It's fucking hot. You're stuck out manning a gun mount, just like sitting there like, I'm catching skin cancer as we speak. It's a miserable experience, and I've been through the ditch 7 times. 7 days of my life were wasted on the Suez Canal. It sucks. So, your phone's right there on the floor. You almost stepped on it. Yeah, subs don't have it as bad because subs have got to transit the whole thing. So if there's a submarine going northbound, everybody has to wait until that sub, because subs do not sit in the Bitter Lake. They continue straight through. But the thing is, like, they usually will convoy a couple, and so they'll have one going northbound, one going southbound, because they swap duties and stuff like that. So they'll have a couple coming through at a time, and so it's for the security of the submarines that they do that they're allowed to go straight through. We did some submissions where we were embarked on the submarines, but you don't sleep on the sub. You just make the trip down and then you make the trip back. So early morning, you're on a sub. You fly. You go to Egypt. You get on the sub, and then you run their. You man their guns and everything. Provide them security on their way through, and then you disembark. Get on the other sub, and then ride it north, and then you get off and you go back to your hotel. And I think we did that for 4 days. I want to say 4 days in a row, And then we were stuck there for another week because they couldn't get us out. So we're staying at a four or 5-star hotel in Egypt for a week and a half, 7 days, something like that. Like a week and a half. I forget what it was. No, I wound up being just a week, which wasn't bad. That's when I went and ate pizza and looked at the pyramids out the. Here's a Pizza Hut. So as you guys might not know, Cairo and Giza, the areas where the pyramids are. Well, so where the city of Giza comes up and it comes around. The pyramids are here, and then it's all open desert back here. But then the city is just like literally, you can take a taxi right to the pyramids, and there's a Pizza Hut where you can look out the windows of that Pizza Hut and see the pyramids. And you're like, it just completely ruins the illusion. But they've left it open in the back so that looking out from the city, it just looks like an empty desert. If you don't believe me, look it up, because there's a lot of pictures of people that have taken it. One of the best pizzas I ever had was the Pizza Hut in Egypt. Pizza Hut, that's funny. It was a pizza. It was a slider crust pizza, so it had hamburgers all along the crust and then the pizza in the middle. Now, granted, they weren't beef. I think they were lamb, but it was delicious. I'm not gonna lie to you. Little cheeseburgers all around the fucking thing. Just little cheeseburgers. I was like, this makes stuffed crust pizza look like pedestrian and fucking low quality. It was good. The only bad thing was I couldn't find it. It was hard to find places where you could sit down and have a beer with your meal, unless you went to like our hotel, which they were kind of getting upset with us because we were running up our government charge cards pretty heavily because we were eating at the hotel, and we were like a 4 or 5-star hotel, and it got expensive. And so we were running up our government charge cards, and they were like, we came back and were like, holy crap, you guys spent a lot of money. I was like, holy crap, we were stuck in Egypt with not many places that we could go that met our fucking criteria for anti-terrorism, where we were able to, because you got to remember, we had our weapons with us, so we had to lock them up somewhere. We had to have a place that we were able to secure things and lock things up properly and maintain actual security of it. And so we were limited. That's fun though. That was a fun trip. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I got some stuff I'm gonna start, and then wait for Ashton to tell me. Here's the thing: Ashton's like me. He smokes dope. So there's a good chance that it's gonna be 3 o'clock before we even get started on any of that stuff that he and I were talking about, going to the base and all that shit. Good chance. Good chance. So, have a good day. Yeah, most likely. Oh fuck, that's right. I forgot I was gonna do that. I can't forget. I've got to do that stuff. Were you making the list, or you want to just wait? You don't have to make your list until later. I'll wait till you get home.
I'm not finished.
Okay. Well, like I said, I only need to get like 1 or 2 things. So, all right, guys, take it easy. I'll see you later. You know what to do. Like it, give it a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't. I really don't care. Talk to you later, Ashton. I'll text you after, see what your time frame looks like. So, later. Where's the button?